Grand Rising, my Freedmen FBA family. Glad to see y'all here. Well, there's no one in the chat yet, but I wanted to go live and express just a couple of concerns. We won't be too long here today. As you can see by the thumbnail, uh, we are today. I am asking the question as to why we have seen an influx of individuals asking us what we think about Charlie Kirk. And a few videos that I've seen, I have actually seen people that are not of our lineage celebrating Charlie Kirk's existence. And of course, those people are tethers. Many of them are tethers. Many of them are bootlicks. Many of them are house Negroes. Many of them are adjacent to our to FBA ideologies. And I might add that our ideologies do not include hurting people, but our ideologies do include self-preservation. So we're not going to talk about that today. As you can see, this image that I have right here. Shout out to Tim Black. I got this image from Tim Black's broadcast the other night, last night. I found this image to be very, very interesting. But check out, the link is below, but check out that video of I think Tim Black entitled it The Five Lies of Charlie Black, something of that nature, but the link is in the video. The reference is in the video. But this image is very important. This guy is obviously in a FBA community, and he's going around asking our people, what do you think about Charlie Kirk? Okay. She responded, he shouldn't, she did not believe that he should have died like that. Let me dwell on that for a brief moment. Charlie Kirk never came out and said that Medgar Evers, Malcolm, okay, Ayanna, Michael Brown, Philando Castile, Sonia Massey. Okay, you see where I'm going with this. Tamir Rice, our soft targets. Our soft targets. And just the other day, our brother who was lynched, 2 broken arms. See, the white supremacist machine and their minions, they don't believe that our deaths should have been scrutinized and should have been avenged through the judicial system. See, they don't believe that. But this sister right here said that he shouldn't have died the way that he died. These opinions and this commentary are all of mine on this platform. But brothers and sisters, see, there's a better way of showing your natural hostilities against a man who said many things, not what he did, but what he said. What he said. And we're going to go over that. We're going to go over that right now. But when I saw Tim Black's broadcast, and this guy right here, he didn't look to be of our lineage. He looked to be of the tether class sent by either side, the left or the right. It doesn't matter. They are two wings on the same vulture. It does not matter. Whether Democrat or Republican, it does not matter. Because they are both our enemies, our political enemies, our social enemies. And as we can see, that white supremacy's minion, their fall boy, Charlie Kirk, no pun intended, Charlie Kirk was just that. Okay? Just as Nick Fuentes is their next minion. To say, I really believe Nick Fuentes is going to be taking Charlie Kirk's place. I really believe that. And remember the other video that I had listed all of the donors of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. Nick Fuentes will be highlighted and placed on a higher pedestal by white supremacy. But my commentary today is for the bootleg. And I have some questions. of the bootleg. Okay, let's get into it. Let me put my spectacles on. Queen Abadar Shakur. Let me put my spectacles on. I got them on. Let's start with why they're asking us. And of course, who's asking? The bootleg. The bootleg. The immigrant tether / house Negro / bootleg. And these are the things that I have put together. Now, this is what's driving the conversation within the Freedmen FBA community. Not that we're at the barbershop. Now, we're at the barbershop on a whole different level, okay? On a whole different level in respects to Charlie Kirk. We're at the barbershop on that indeed. We're at the hair salons, indeed. Brothers and sisters, my revolutionary brothers and sisters, we're not at the barbershop talking about how he shouldn't have died that way. We're talking about other stuff. This is what's driving that. Of course, Kirk's critique of Black culture, comments about Black leaders and movements, political strategy, and voter influence, and cultural pushbacks. Those are the four main topics that should be driving the conversation of Charlie Kirk. But you see what I wrote up here? Charlie Kirk, we don't care. That's a MAGA problem. He's a MAGA problem. Okay. We have other issues of our own. Number one, power. Power. And number two, the Negro bootlegs and immigrant tethers. Okay, these are Freedmen FBA concerns. Power. power in those who will sell us out. But we already know Charlie Kirk's critique of us, of our culture, of our riders, of our leaders. We already know that. So it's not a matter, like I said, it's not a matter of what Charlie Kirk did. Rather, it's a matter of what he said. Racist ideologies. Racist ideologies. Racist ideologies have profoundly harmed the foundational Black American community across generations, not just through overt discrimination, but through deeply embedded systems that continue to shape life outcomes today. Okay? We see that. Let me read that part again. These, not just through overt discrimination, but through deeply embedded systems and continue to shape life outcomes today. These ideologies have served as the blueprint for exclusion, exploitation, and erasure. In I think that was 74, Nixon's war on drugs. The link is in the description below. Nixon's war on drugs. When I was a kid, I woke up. I was already awake because my mother and father, they demanded that we watch not just television, listen and watch the news, their news. Go back to your revolutionaries and say, hey, Uncle Strike, they said this on the news. The psychological and cultural damage of racial ideologies. Number one, dehumanization. Charlie Kirk dehumanized us. We already know this, family. We already know this. Charlie Kirk dehumanized us. Racist narratives portrayed FBAs and still is portraying FBAs as inferior, criminal, subhuman, leading to internalized trauma and distorted self-worth. That's a lie. Distorted self-worth. That's a lie. These are the things that their think tanks, now they come out with truth and not so true things. Distorted self-worth. See, that's for the weak-minded Negro. There we go. That's for the weak-minded Negro. That's not for FBAs, because we hold ourselves in a higher regard. We hold ourselves the firstborn of the Most High. That's how we hold ourselves. Okay? We do not think of ourselves as subhuman. We think of ourselves as gods, sent by the creator of all. We hold ourselves as the mothers, okay, of civilization all across the globe. Had it not been for the Black woman player, you wouldn't be here. None of you. Cultural erasure. Black history has whitewashed or omitted Black history as being whitewashed or omitted from education, robbing FBAs of our legacy and contributions to American society. And we're tackling that now. We're not letting that happen. Stereotyping, harmful tropes. Charlie Kirk, like the welfare queen, Ronald Reagan, angry black man, white feminist, or absent fathers, Obama, Nixon, Carter, Reagan, the Bushes. These stereotypes, family, they were weaponized against us. Just as Charlie Kirk, he used that and got paid for it. I told you that the other broadcast, I told you, I really believe Charlie Kirk has amassed well over 25 million. I stopped right there because, I really think that that's a conservative number. But I really believe that he amassed well over 25 million. Okay. Now here, why didn't he and the bootleg Negroes and immigrant tethers ask about the dehumanization, the cultural erasure, and the stereotyping? Why didn't he also talk about economic sabotage? They sabotaged Rosewood. They sabotaged, they destroyed everything that we created. He didn't ask that. What do you think about Charlie Kirk? He didn't ask that. He didn't ask about economic sabotage, redlining and housing discrimination, employment exclusions and reparations, us being denied what we're owed, reparations. He didn't ask that. Okay? These are the racist ideologies. Those three in the economic sabotage. But he didn't ask that. Okay? He wanted to know about Charlie Kirk and how, here we go with Reverend Al Sharpton. You got to love Charlie Kirk. Love and pray for Charlie Kirk's family. Wait a minute, Al. Charlie Kirk hated black. You got to love and pray for Charlie Kirk's family. Fuck you, Al. The educational inequalities, underfunded schools, tracking and discipline. He didn't ask about that. Predominantly black schools receive fewer resources. We ain't talking family, we're not talking about white-owned HBCUs. They are not historically black colleges if they are not owned by the black community. If you are not owned by Freedmen, FBA hands and money, you are not an HBCU. HBCU, stop it. He didn't ask that. Underfunded schools, predominantly black schools, receive fewer resources, outdated materials, less qualified teachers. Not so true. We have some wonderful sisters and brothers. We have wonderful sisters and brothers lacking black men in the public school system. Lacking black men. Tracking and discipline. FBAs are disproportionately placed in remedial tracks and subjected to harsh disciplinary measures, feeding the school to prison pipeline. He didn't answer. legal and political oppression, scales of justice, mass incarceration, voter suppression, and policy neglect. Mass incarceration, racist laws. This is what, it's not what Charlie Kirk did, even though, wait a minute, that's a little true. What Charlie Kirk did, he went around to a grade school, high schoolers, spewing that racist anti-black rhetoric. Yes, he did. He went, his whole thing was hit the college circuit. Yes, he did. His whole thing was to hit the college circuit, the white universities. And of course, he grabbed some coons out of the audience and said, hey, put it, took photo ops with coons. Yes, he did. So partly what he did, 99.9% of what he said, okay? So legal and political oppression, mass incarceration, racist laws and policy and policing practices targeted Black communities, leading to disproportionate imprisonment and disenfranchisement. Excuse me. Voter suppression. Now, I agree and disagree on this. From literacy tests, that's true, to modern ID laws, racist ideologies have sought to silence political voices of FBAs. True and not so true. Family, it don't matter if they redistrict each state for that only 1 acre is available for Black voting. We're going to vote. We're going to vote. So that ID shit, that doesn't bother. You already had to show an ID or your voter registration card. That doesn't phase us. We're not tripping over that. Health disparities. I'm sorry. Uh, Policy neglect. Issues affecting Black communities, from environmental racism to healthcare disparities, were ignored or deprioritized. And who's to blame for that? Who's to blame for that? Okay, we know who. And they're sitting up on Capitol Hill. They were sitting in the White House as a VP. Okay, we already know that. They were sitting in the White House as president of the United States, same skin color. Both VPs, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. A cracker and a desi, they told us we had to respect. I don't respect none of them. None of them. Okay? Health disparities. Again, medical racism, mental health stigma, medical racism. FBAs were subjected to unethical experiments, Tuskegee experiments. Remember that? He didn't talk about that. Denied adequate care and dismissed by healthcare providers. I myself, a short story, when I was working for the DC Police headquarters, I was an analyst of uniform crime, the Uniform Crime Division. I analyzed crime in the city, and that data was sent over to the FBI. Okay, I've read it all. I've read it all. And a lot of things in that we see that it is so easy to dismiss any traumatic experience that we may have outside of the judicial system and in the judicial system. And it's very and it's not so much as because we do have issues with the judicial system. We have many issues with it. Over policing is number one, but he made no mention of that. So these policies, again, it's what Charlie Kirk said. It's what he said. It's what he fed to political figures that were sitting right in the Oval Office. I've never been to the White House, not even on a tour. You know why? Because I don't give a damn. You don't have, see, as a black man, I can't sit at Trump's table, nor would I want to. I want to sit at the seat underneath that table, a seat that represents fair and equal justice for my people first. He does not disclose that. He discloses, how do you feel about Charlie Kirk? Health disparities, medical racism, mental health stigma,